Now we get an equation that has all of the terms there, the a term, the b term, and the c term. So, of course, as I've mentioned before, we're going to eliminate the determinant, and what we're left with, negative b squared, or x equals negative b squared over 2a, is the equation of my line of symmetry. So now I'm going to calculate what my line of symmetry is. So I've got x equals, and I'm going to plug in negative b. Well, my b is 6, so negative 6, and that's over 2 times my a is negative 1. So my more like an x. My line of symmetry, I've got negative 6 over negative 2, and that simplifies to x equals 3. So the equation of my line of symmetry is x equals 3 everywhere on that line. So we now need to plug that value in for x and find out what y equals at my vertex, which of course the vertex lies on the line of symmetry. So now I've got y equals negative, we'll plug in the 3, squared, plus 6, we'll plug in the 3, minus 5. Okay, let's see what we can do now. So 3 squared is 9, so I've got y equals negative 9 plus 6 times 3 gives me 18 minus 5. Now I need to combine like terms. I'm going to start off by combining these two, as I happen to know that 18 minus 9 is 9. So now I've got y equals 9 minus 5. And when I do that, I get y equals 4. So my vertex is 3, 4. And then I need to find an x intercept and a y intercept. Okay, and before I go too far, I should go ahead and put 3, 4 into my t-chart. Again, it goes in the middle because it's the vertex. So x is 3, y is 4. Okay. So now, to find an x-intercept, I'm going to replace y with 0. So y equals 0 in the original equation, which is negative x squared plus 6x minus 5. Negative x squared plus 6x minus 5. Let's see, did I get that correct? And yes, I did. And now I'm going to factor and solve. This is not a special product, so I get to use the box to factor and solve. So let's see here. We'll draw our box, and I better leave myself a touch more room than that. And to make this easier to do, I'm going to factor out a -1. So I'm going to rewrite this as 0, -0, but it's still 0, right? Well, actually, I don't have to do that. But I'll just factor out the -1 equals -1 times x squared minus 6x plus 5. And now I have a leading coefficient that's positive, not negative. So now I've got an x squared, and over here I've got 5, and I need to figure out how to break apart this -6. So I do my x with the air conditioner on the roof. 1 times 5 is 5. Basement under the house, I've got a -6. Let's write out all of the possible sets of factors of 5, and that's 1 times 5, and that's it. So let's see, it's positive, they have to have the same sign. I'm looking for a sum of 6, in this case -6, so I've got to have -1 and -5. So minus x minus 5x. Okay, so what do I have in common? Got an x here and an x here. -5 and -1. So the factored form, I now have an equation of 0 equals -1 times x minus 1, well, x minus 5, there's one of them, times x minus 1. And of course, I'm going to break it apart into 2 equations. Now, I can ignore the -1 factor. There's no variable there, it's not going to make a difference. So now I have 0 equals x minus 5 for one of the equations, and the other equation is 0 equals x. I just wrote an x. Let me fix that. 0 equals x minus 1. So here we're going to add 5 to both sides. Giving me x equals 5. And over here we'll add 1 to both sides, giving me x equals 1. So for my x-intercept, I have 1, 0, I have 5, 0. Because of course we plugged in 0 for y to find that. Now for my y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So I've got y equals, and let's see, it was -x squared equals -0 squared plus 6x minus 5. So plus 6 times 0 minus 5. Make sure I got that right. And I did. Okay. So now we need to solve. Well, we've got y equals 0 squared is 0, -0 is still 0, we can leave that out. 6 times 0 is also 0, we can leave that out, so we've got y equals -5. So for my y-intercept, I now have 0, comma, negative 5. Okay. So let's put those on our T-chart. Okay, so we've got 1 and 5 both at 0. One, 0, 5, 0. And then for 0, we have negative 5. So 0, of course, would be right here. 0 is negative 5. So this 3, 4, that's my vertex. That's on the line of symmetry. To get from 3 to 0, we subtracted 3. We took 3 minus 3. So let's add 3 to 3. Let's check 6 and see what it equals. That'll be symmetrically on the opposite side. And we like using the symmetry. It just makes it neater for us. So we're going to plug in y equals, and the original equation again, I had negative x squared, negative, and I'm going to plug in 6 squared plus 6 times 6 minus 5. Okay, so what happens here? I'm going to get y equals, let's see, 6 squared is 36, so negative 36 plus 6 times 6 is also 36 minus 5. Okay. 36 minus 36, those are going to cancel each other out because that's 0. And that leaves me with y equals negative 5. So here at 6, we also get a negative 5, the same thing we had before. Interesting. So in this case, our vertex is not a minimum. It's not at the bottom of the parabola. It's a maximum. It's at the top of the parabola. So this parabola is sort of upside down. Let's see what this looks like now. Okay, so my vertex was at 3, 4. So let's go ahead and find that. We go over 3 and up 4. Yeah, I want that color. So right there, there is my vertex. And then at 5 and 1, I'm at 0. So at 1, I'm at 0, and at 5, I'm at 0. And then at both 6 and 0, I'm at negative 5. So at 0, I'm at negative 5, and at 6, I'm at negative 5. And now we get to sketch this one. It goes sort of like that. I'll extend them. Again, I'm not much of an artist, but you get the idea.